coming off of a wrestling show, especially something you're proud of or had fun, it's difficult. Like you're just sitting in the car and it's just like it hurts because you had such a rush and it felt
adrenaline dump. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a mess. And then you're driving 3 hours, 4 hours to the next town. You want to make it there before you fall asleep. It's just, it's a mental grind.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone, and this is yet another episode of The Wrestling Outlaws, ladies and gentlemen, with Outlaw Vince Russo, with Outlaw EC3 the Digger, ladies and gentlemen, who likes to dig holes and bury souls, ladies.
I love it.
I am the Sheriff, Dr. Chris, and this is yet another episode, and we're going to dive right into it. We're going to start off with shooting from the hip, ladies and gentlemen. PW Insider said that Nikki and Brie Bella flew to Raw 30, but did not like the way they would be presented. They were advertised. Kane was advertised too, and he didn't show up either. This is what Nikki said. He was advertised. Yeah, he didn't show up. So, Nikki also said, this is what Nikki said. She said, this week from Monday to Thursday, Brie and I and Artem, that's Nikki's boo. And Artem,
was that her dog?
What's that?
Artem, her dog?
Her boo, her honey, her fiance.
It's not John. I don't care.
I think that they're engaged now, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I know they have a baby. 4-week crash wedding, blah blah blah. So yeah, I think that they're engaged to be married, if I'm not mistaken. And Artem have been booked on Crazy Media because of the premiere of Nikki Bella Says I Do is Thursday night. WWE owns the show, by the way. I think it was weeks ago. There were talks about going to Monday Night Raw. They said they had nothing for us. So we were booked on Crazy Media Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then there was possibly maybe an idea, but our whole team, including WWE and everyone else, had already booked us for Monday. So there's other, talks as far as the Bellas not liking their role on Raw 30, and so they did not show up. Vince Russo, let's start with you. Your thoughts on the Bellas not showing up for Raw 30.
So is that the story, bro? They didn't like the creative, so they didn't show up. Hey, listen, man, bro. Listen, they've got a brand. Whether or not it's because the WWE, they're not working at the WWE no more. So give the WWE credit for them having a brand. But these two women have a very, very successful brand. So, they've done television shows, now that they've moved on. She's got this little show coming up. If they didn't like what was being done with them creatively and they felt that it was going to have a negative aspect on their brand, I don't blame them at all. They don't need the money. They can say no. So I don't blame them at all if they were very protective of their brand.
Good for them. Let me follow up.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Good for them. First off, Derek Bateman's a little upset considering what we talked about last week, that I'm not invited to the wedding. Like, I know we used to have a thing, both of you, because I dated twins once with my buddy Daniel. To not have me, I get it. Maybe it'd be a little too awkward. You're expecting it to be Wayne's World 2. I'd be running down the aisle or on the bus on the way out. That's okay. I wish you the best. I wish you the most happiness you possibly could ever have. I love you both, literally. Having said that, it's the pro wrestler's dream, the absolute dream, to be the person that you make it so high up into the WWE where you leave on your own terms, because you've had to deal with some bad writing, some bad booking, some bad attitudes, some terrible people, some deception. You've had to deal with so much to get to a point into the WWE where you can leave on your own terms, succeed elsewhere, and know you can go back anytime, and you don't have to do what they're telling you to do.
Mhm.
You're bigger than the brand. Kudos, congratulations. Like, unless I'm fully behind what we're doing, why would I do it? I benefit nothing. So, and the thing too, we don't reward loyalty. Like, they were loyal to the company for a very long time and made their name there. Yes, the company is responsible for making them, but they also took that and they made something of themselves. So that's the American dream. But when you leave and you come back, like, you're expected to do the things that they wouldn't have the A-list celebrities do, like the Tyson Furies or the Bad Bunnies or things like that, which are great for business. Somebody said I said the Bad Bunny was bad for business on my Twitter the other day. That's why I don't read it. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said that was great, but these celebrities have their brands they have to protect, so they can't put people over and then go. They have to be strong, and we're getting the rub from that, but it always makes the WWE talent look inferior because they can't beat them. Yeah. But they used to be in the WWE, so we can beat them, so they're probably trying to throw everything at Nikki and Brie to get somebody else over poorly and without reason or context, where they're like, nah, we're good. Mm-hmm. And then kudos, good for them. I think that's what Punk wanted. I think he wanted to leave to eventually be able to come back so he could say, no, I don't want to do that.
Interesting. Do you think that CM Punk was like legitimately hurt by the business? You were there when CM Punk was there.
Physically hurt? Of course.
Mentally.
We're all mentally hurt. And some people react well to it. Some people can run with it and have a little self-deprecation. And some people take it a little too seriously.
In what way? Mentally hurt in what way?
How would I say it?
Mentally hurt in what way?
Like, it's a drag. You're away from your families or what you love. You're doing it so much, you become consumed by it, but then you're consumed by the fact I'm on the road. The travel, the getting a rental cars, the finding the hotels. You're so responsible for yourself that mentally it just becomes draining. I'm drained talking to people today, right? I had so much I wanted to do, and I had to lay under red lights for 2 hours because just people drain me. So that consistently over time mentally hurts you. The mental stigmata of not getting what you want or think you deserve, or having to go through so many loopholes and jump through so many hoops just to get an opportunity to show what you are. But then it always gets pulled away because you have differences with creative and the boss. And sometimes it requires a meeting of the minds, but sometimes they want you to do something that you don't want to do at all, but you have to do it, or you can leave. So you leave, or you do it and then you keep your job. So I say that's the mental part. It's just like,
yeah, makes sense.
Here's the biggest mental part too, which people probably don't know. The biggest mental part that's hardest for pro wrestling or a pro wrestler is the ability to act and perform in front of a live crowd and the come down that comes with it, to the point where we're spiking our dopamine so high and we're doing it so many times over the course of a week to a month. Like, coming off of a wrestling show, especially something you're proud of or had fun, it's difficult. Like, you're just sitting in the car and it's just like, it hurts because you had such a rush and it felt
adrenaline dump.
Yeah. And you're a mess. And then you're driving 3 hours, 4 hours to the next town. You want to make it there before you fall asleep. It's just, it's a mental grind. It's physical. So that's what I mean by that.
Yeah. Thank you for breaking that down. I mean, I agree with y'all. I mean, Nikki and Brie, they've created a brand, and that just makes good business people. That's why, as an entrepreneur, I appreciate that. For you to use a brand, a heavy brand, to propel your own. I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, that's like me saying I'm going to work at a psychology, practice to build my own practice. I mean, that's brilliant. So that's
the deal. That's kind of life. And WWE does hate it when they can't keep their claws in, and some people are above it. Like, they'll never be mad at like a John, probably. They would be mad at Punk. They'll never be mad at Big Dave. Can't be mad at Dwayne, but they were mad at Dwayne originally. Remember, they had some sort of issues.
Yeah.
Len's contract, well, we don't need him. Well, he did okay, so up yours.
Yeah.
But other people that maybe aren't that ingrained to the top of the card, Stone Cold. Well, even Stone Cold, when he was too big for it and he left, they went after him. No, punches pulled. But John, Dave, Rock, all top guys.
Yeah, Vince Russo's in that bunch too.
Of course, obviously. Yeah, but Nikki and Brie, and there's other people that go on and succeed that don't have to come back, that aren't like top guys. They were great acts for sure. They weren't at the top of the thing, so the fact we still can't control them when they weren't really even who made us, even though they did make you, in the sense that everybody is part of a team makes the team.
Yeah. I think it's like a really odd sense of control to have that talent just kind of be underneath and just liability. And then some of them push through to become more of an asset than a liability, and they have the control and the power now basically over their brand. And kudos to people who push through, who's no longer a liability. But until then, WWE typically holds people down and everybody feels like a liability there. That's the reason why they don't have, yes, indeed. That's the reason why they don't have a lot of say-so and they can be booked however they want and just kind of go with it.
And then, but think about today. I mean, you guys are two entrepreneurs who understand this better than anybody. It's a creator's economy as well. Mm-hmm. So there's other means of making money. So they crack down on the Twitches and the live streams and all these paid things. But then if they're paying them more than the talent can tell you, like a Mandy, I'm good. Yep. Oh, we're fired. Well, I mean, that sucks because I really like what I do there. But okay, I mean, best of luck to you as well. I don't need you. Doesn't matter. Like, I'm good. So having all those options for other people is just another way they can't control you as much.
Indeed.
When I was starting my app, I was still there and under the radar and concussed. And they got word like I'm creating a training and fitness app that could maybe, I don't know, provide somebody something to fall back on. Perhaps if there's a pandemic, maybe fall back on in case they get hurt and they can't wrestle anymore. Maybe something to fall back on in case, they fire you during a pandemic. Like, heaven forbid I use my time to do something like that. But yeah.
So they got word and they did what?
Yes, in a sense that I am building it and I kind of ask for permission, which is always a mistake. Like, I was thinking about, starting this fitness app and they're like, oh, you might want to be careful with that because of this. I'm like, okay.
What? I'm shelved. I'm trying to make supplemental income, and I'm actually trying to start this from the ground up just in case you let me go.
Join.freeec3.com.
There you go.
Bro, that was the reason. One more time. That was the again. I'm sorry. You want to say it again?
Yeah, one more time.
Join.freeec3.com. I'm gonna make a promo code for this. Outlaws get 50%.
Oh, very nice.